Made in Hollywood.
In Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, when a dormant volcano on Isla Nublar suddenly comes to life, Owen and Claire must team up once again to rescue the miraculous but fiercely dangerous dinosaurs from yet another extinction.
Hi, this is Jeff Goldblum. You're about to watch a scene from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur?
Hey, Blue.
You don't really believe it. It's like a miracle.
In the film, Claire says, "Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur?" And when she says that line, it makes me feel like, oh my God, it makes me remember the first time I saw Jurassic Park. It felt very magical and it made me reminisce on that moment. Do you guys remember when you first saw Jurassic Park?
Of course. Yeah, I think it was opening weekend 25 years ago now. I was 13.
I was 12.
You were 12.
Yep. We both saw it opening weekend.
Same time. Who knew?
Together.
Yeah, together.
Yeah, we've been best friends ever since. Yeah, I remember. And I remember just being in awe.
It was a first. Watching that movie was definitely, it was for everyone who saw Jurassic Park 25 years ago in the theaters. It was this groundbreaking cinematic achievement where all of a sudden it like opened up all these possibilities for the stories that we could tell and what we could visually achieve and the adventure that we could take audiences on.
And stepping off that plane and just set me up for this adventure. It seemed like, geez, here we go on some exotic, life-changing adventure. And it was.
Whatever was going on in my life as a kid, it was a complete escape. Like, just the biggest escape. And not a lot of movies are able to transport you in the way that the original Jurassic Park did.
I was all alone in the theater because I had snuck out of my house to go see it the night before because my friend was I was 16. My friend was the projectionist and like hid the pillows underneath, you know, everything you do to sneak out of your house.
And the camera will start with you, so the camera is following you.
And it was for me like a game changer. It was like something that I know that making of the movies will be different after watching that.
Do these animals deserve the same protections given to other species? Or should they just be left to die?
These creatures were here before us.
The second film in a planned trilogy, what direction did you want to take Fallen Kingdom?
I had an opportunity to work with a filmmaker that I'm a huge fan of, and he is a Spanish horror director. And so what we wanted to do was give him an opportunity to run and to put everything that's in his head up onto the screen. So as a producer, as a writer, I had a mission to just create scenarios, create opportunities for him, and I feel like he just went above and beyond what we could have expected.
And if we're not careful, they're gonna be here after.
Speaking of the dinosaurs being so real, when I'm watching that scene where you're in a shipping container and you're extracting blood, the entire time I was thinking, what is actually there with them? Because that can't be added in the way that you're actually sitting on top of it.
Right, that's a great question. And in this movie, in Fallen Kingdom, we had a ton of animatronic dinosaurs, and that made all the difference in the world. And in the scene that you're talking about, where we were in the shipping container and I'm riding on the back of a T-Rex, that was actually a T-Rex.
It's like a $500,000 puppet, you know? They're huge.
No big deal.
They're operated by about 10 to 12 people underneath it.
Put your hand in here.
Come on, Jay.
Come on. Come on.
I don't want to.
It was great to be inside that tight space with a T-Rex and Chris and Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, Stan Winston and Dennis Muren did the originals and won awards for them. They pioneered it. It was like nothing we'd ever seen, but they've really kind of stepped it up.
You know me.
I'd love to ask you about the shot, the one that we actually see in the trailer, where you guys are just running for your lives. You eventually get into the ball, the hamster ball, and you plummet off the island. But what was it like filming that scene?
It was a lot of fun. They built a roller coaster for me and Bryce to shoot the gyrosphere going off the cliff edge. So that was pretty much, that was a lot of fun.
3, 2, 1, action!
top of that hill
Yep.
is where we started running. And then we ran down through this valley right here. This is where
Well,
the
you
gyros
And that's all
started
one
running at
take?
the top of the hill. He started running at the top of the hill. Justice and I joined him
At
like
about that
halfway
platform,
down. Yeah.
And then how many times did you do that?
A lot of times.
Many times.
My knee still pops. I
Yeah.
gave a lot to this movie, including one of my ligaments, apparently.
Performance in these movies has to do with a lot of physical effort, you know, and it becomes like a very physical performance. And shooting that moment of the volcano, the eruption of the volcano, they had to run the mountains like during all day, again and again and again and again. It was, and it felt like pretty dangerous because it was very steep, you know. It's a massive effort for the actors to do one of those scenes.